Hey, 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 all my crafty friends. We're coming back to start day 13 of our December daily and day 14 actually in this video because this first spread was extremely quick. This is the story of my handmade Christmas cards that I made. I am pretty much scrap lifting myself. From last year. I loved the spread. It was simple. It was easy. I really just want a picture of the cards in my album because obviously I send them out to people, so I don't get to save them. So yeah, I put them on a piece of foam board, got some good light, and organized them, even though now I'm kind of upset I didn't that red one is in there twice. I don't know why I didn't see that when I was taking the picture, but whatever. I would have transferred one of the red ones out, but it's okay. Anyways, and what I'm doing here is just using my craft knife to slit holes to make this open like the card would for my journaling. There we go. And fold that over just using my bone folder. I did just use a scoreboard to try and get a good, since this is the matte photo paper, it's a little bit thicker, so I wanted to make sure that I was, not gonna break the paper or fold it wrong or something along those lines. So in Photoshop, I did just make a text box that was as big as that card and typed in it and then printed that separately so that I could put that in behind there. And literally it is that easy. I'm going to put a circle letter or circle label and then I just put a piece of scrap paper behind it so that, because obviously it was sticky behind there. Put my 13. I think my biggest decision was, should I turn it with the cards or should it go straight up and down? I end up deciding straight up and down. I don't know if that was the right decision, but it made my eye feel better. So, so yeah, that was like my biggest decision of this one. And then I'm just going to cut around that label. That way people know that there is like something under there to open. And that pretty much finishes that one up. Like I said, I believe I did this almost the same thing last year. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I did about the same thing. And I'm okay with it. Like, it's okay to scrap lift yourself sometimes, right? And I love how it looks in the album, honestly. I just love, and now I have documentation of those, and yeah, moving on. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so now we are going to be working on the back of that, as you can see, and starting to work on day 14, which is a story of my littlest guy having a pretty big homework assignment to do on this day, and he was not happy with me. I had found out that he was several days behind on a writing project, and writing assignments are hard for him, and if you don't keep up on it, and I did not know that he was having one in school, then he gets super far behind on it. So it takes a little bit of persuasion to get him to do it. So what I am doing here is, this is a grid piece of paper. It's hard to see here because my lights there, you could see it a little bit when I bent it. My lights kind of blowed out. But this was kind of taken from Allie Edwards last year, I believe. Her day 7, I think. Day 7 is when she made a card where she embossed all the numbers at the top of the card. And it was just a journaling card. I really couldn't, it looked like a journal. She kept on saying she made it during prep day. So and I didn't go back into the prep classes to see when she made it, if she even did it on like prep day. She doesn't usually do that stuff on camera, so I don't know. So anyways, I took the stamp set out from, I think this is Carrie Bradford's stamp set. It's Max Outline, I believe. And I used the outline in just black ink, regular black ink, and I'm going to stamp 13, 14, and 15. But the 14 is going to be gold embossed, so it stands out from the rest. Now, I hem and hawed the whole entire time if I should stamp the inside of the two other numbers, and I ended up deciding to do that in red, as you'll see here in a minute. I'm like, oh no, let me do that 3 here real quick, just in case, so I know it fits. There we go. Sorry for my head so much, I had to line these ones up. And then I will do the 5. I will use Holiday Red to fill in the 13 and the 15, and I think it gives it a bit of a pop. I mean, especially since there's red in my photo, and red, it's going to actually come in an embellishment later. So I do think it works. Could I have went a little bit less of a prominent color? I probably could have, but you know, it is what it is, and it's done, and we're not going to throw a fit. I still think that the gold embossing definitely stands out to show you that it's day 14. I mean, and if somebody doesn't get it, I guess they just don't get that it's day 14. It's not the end of the world, right? I keep on leaning in, and you can see that one friggin' gray hair that I have. Ugh, getting old sucks. I'm like, I almost made a mistake. I almost did that red 4 instead of the 5. I'm so glad I got that. Almost. And there we go. So right there, I love it. Like, I could have even left it, honestly, you could leave it like this. If you don't have embossing stuff, like, I think either A, you could have left the 13 and the 15th alone and just did the 14, or, you know, that type of thing. So, I don't know. I put entirely way too much anti-static powder down on this. And I don't know if I probably did still need to. I did heat set this just to make sure, but you're going to see, like, it didn't even stick to the 4. That is because this is matte photo paper, so it does absorb that Versamark really quickly. So I went ahead and I did heat set or melt what was there. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to double stamp it. And if anything, it will give me more, you know, it will make it more bold pretty much. So even the next time, it wasn't sticking all that well if I would tap it too hard, but there we go. So the only thing that I didn't love is obviously you couldn't see the black outline. I could go around it with the black marker, but I wasn't going to touch it. I was like, nope, we're not going to touch that. So, all right. So I knew I was going to put my journaling down the side. Oh, I did go in and put a, what is that? A Z stitch, I think, or an X. It's not X. It's not, you know, a zigzag. There we go. Zigzag stitch. My sewing machine was not liking me, as you can see, but the imperfection, we're going to embrace it. Went through all of my embellishments, finally came across these houses that I did not think I was going to use. I literally threw them to the side. Couldn't find anything else that I loved. And then I was like, wait, we're at the house and I think these work. And it brings that red triangle down, you know, it works. Lastly, I printed off my journaling onto that Mako transparency paper, whatever you transparent paper. Remind yourself when you're doing this, though. Don't pull that whole backer off, because you're going to see, like, it, even though I had the grid, I still put it down wrong the first time. As you can see, I'm like, oh no, that's very crooked. So very reluctantly, I started pulling that up. It did come up, but if you were to put that whole thing down, that's not coming up. Oh, sorry about the hair. Had to line that up. And then you can pull it down and it's easy peasy. I'm telling you, once you line it up, it's so easy peasy, and it literally melts into the paper. You can't even barely tell that it's there, even in person. So we're gonna glue those houses down now. I just wanted to make sure that my journaling didn't go underneath that. I hadn't written out my journaling at that point, so I wanted to make sure. And it fits perfectly. I love it. I'm gonna move that over just a little bit. The way that these little 3 houses worked was great. Everything lined up, and that is pretty much going to be the story. I'm gonna put this on the back. I don't end up putting, I know you see me like trying to put some canvas stickers over these houses. I didn't. I've still yet to use those canvas ones, but honestly, I'm using a lot of my stash, guys. So I think I mentioned that in my last video. I am busting my stash, I'm telling you. All right, here we go, pulling out 13, and we have day 14 done. I also have day 15 done in real life now, which was the longest project ever. That was the simplest, not the simplest, but like the littlest project. When I get there, you guys will understand what I mean. But it literally took me, I think, probably the longest out of any project at this point. So, but it was fun, and you know, used that stash again. So just using my double-sided score tape. I don't use my tape runner for these. Tape runner is expensive, and yeah, just don't. And then I'm going to fit that cut around the edges as they didn't line up completely. And I love how the spread came out. And again, just another simple story about what was happening, you know, in December on this day. I was actually baking and doing a bunch of stuff this day, and decided to tell this story instead of the baking story, pretty much, because pretty soon he, you know, if he's anything like his brother, he's going to be 6'2" and towering over that table, right? So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate it. If you've made it this far, put a 14 in the comments below to let me know, and I will see you on day 15, and then I don't know if we're going to keep on going. I might save the rest for next year. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.